although I put it on YouTube, no one else can see it. It's only someone who's got the link, so don't worry. So how's it go? What would you like to chat about? Are you
Well, I have put together a dummy now, so I've got the text and the pictures on the same page for 705 because
okay?
I've always had them separate. So I can show you that.
Yes, please do. Are you able to? Have I allowed sharing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, brilliant.
Uh, so I'm hoping that I think I probably will have time to do a bit more on this before I go, because you probably see it gets like progressively scruffier as it goes. And so I think I might need to work on some of the ones at the end, but I think I will definitely have a dummy I can take. So not much has changed at the beginning, actually.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. That makes such a difference, doesn't it? Having that there. It makes you want to open the book.
Yeah, because I got rid of the first page, which was basically this illustration, so I could get in a bit more later on.
Yeah.
So I thought, but I could put it on the title page, maybe. So,
It looks so like you can feel that warmth from it, even though
yeah,
it's a sketch, you still really get that through. Yeah, that's really, yeah, I really like that.
thank you. So this is now where it begins.
Lovely.
I
Yeah,
think there were
oh,
some text edits I wanted to make, but I haven't done it yet. So the text
okay.
is mostly the same.
I like it because it's like straight away we're in, and like we know that feeling of going outside where it's a bit too cold. Like we know that feeling of like
Yeah,
stepping outside in winter. And I think that's really clever. Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
thank you. I thought I could try and get like a dormouse in the background if I can make the hole big enough for it to get all of that in.
Yeah, it looks a bit I mean, could you have another, I guess you could have another whole
Oh yeah, yeah,
bottom left or something so you can, I wouldn't overcomplicate that. Uh yeah, or make the hole bigger maybe. Um they look a bit uh looks a bit squashed in that.
yeah,
Um but you could have another hole, or you could have, oh, I don't know. You don't want to go against like the like the real facts, about, a dormouse probably wouldn't have another hole, would it, to go? I don't know. Be a bit maybe too it would probably only have one hole in, one hole out.
yeah. Well, I don't think they really like sort of have burrows where they're together. So
Yeah.
this is kind of
Okay.
not real anyway.
Okay.
But I just wanted to get like other dormice in it.
Yeah. You could always have like a cut through, or like a, I don't know, maybe leave it. I mean, it's not a Bologna worry, really. I mean,
Mm,
don't worry about that.
okay. Oh yeah, this is the next spread. It seemed quite abrupt change.
No, I think it's not like, perhaps just have a hint of that log on the
Okay.
left hand side, so we know that we know then it's just come out. Uh,
Yeah.
and that would, I mean, it's a couple of lines, it's not going to take much, but I think knowing that it's jumped down through the hole, and then we know it's not gone too far, it's not
Mm, yeah. Okay. That's easy enough to do.
yeah, yeah, but I think it's nice.
And then this.
Yeah.
That on the left, I mean on the right, is meant to trying to think of ways to make it look like winter's breath.
Yeah, you can
But
tell you can see it even in the sketch, so don't worry.
okay.
Nice S composition, like swooping down around. Yeah, nice. Yeah, lovely.
I remember once at university at Falmouth, a lecturer told me not to put the character on, like, to be careful with placing the character on the page multiple times because it can look confusing, like different characters. But I don't know if that's like the case here.
I don't think it is. You could Marta Altes does it really well in Little Monkey, I think, and in I'm an Artist. There's a image where the mum is like trying to catch a bird, I think, and she's like doing this, and you almost like it's a faded version. You'll be able to find it online. If you could even have a look on YouTube of people reading those books. But I don't think you'll have an issue. But you could always have it, the little mouse, you could have them sketched several times, doing like a tumble and a roll, but like faded back a bit, almost like they're overlapping each other. And then it's really obvious. But because the text is kind of linked under the little mouse on the left and linked under the little mouse on the right, I'm pretty sure no one's going to get confused, especially if the lake is abandoned. Like,
yeah, that's true.
There's no one else there. I wouldn't worry. And an editor that you work with who picks this up can like help guide that bit as well. But I think like you could if you wanted to do like a faded out version of the mouse, like skipping and tumbling. But I think again for Bologna, I'm not getting confused as a reader. But you could always ask if you're worried, you could ask someone who hasn't seen the book at all.
Okay.
And let them read the full book and then say, do you know this is the same mouse or something? Like, don't prompt them on this page, like let them read the whole thing and then say, is there anything that didn't make sense or something, and see if they bring it up. But
yeah,
I think you'll get lots of different advice from tutors, and like then you'll go see a publisher and a publisher will be like, oh, that's not an issue at all. And I think sometimes you know, all tutors have then seen different editors and seen different publishers, and all publishing houses are different, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Okay, I might leave that and then until someone tells me to change it. And then there's this, which originally I had this scene from above, with the branches kind of coming in from the edges, but I thought I'd try it from ground level.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Okay, and then that's the same as before.
Yeah.
This one here is the same as it was the last time I showed you, but slightly different. I've kind of just changed the picture on the right. So before it's like a couple of vignettes, now it's one, but I feel like it's got a lot of text on that page compared to every other page. But I feel like I can't break it up any differently. But I don't know, a way I could, I don't know, cut it down or somehow just make it appear less than it is on the page.
I mean, the burrow is warm and busy, the mice feast on nuts and berries. I mean, that is what you're showing that visually, so you could probably lose that. You've got a lot of conversation, I suppose, like I wonder if you could have this, you could have it as a full, very busy spread of like a warm burrow, almost like a Bryony May Smith, you know, like warm, autumny toned, because the rest of the book's going to be so cold, and then you turn the page and then you get this like very warm burrow. And then you could almost have the text. It is a lot of text, but you kind of need that.
Yeah.
You're not a dormouse. What's the one above? It's them running, isn't it? Running behind. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to change that. Then you're not a dormouse. The burrow is warm, busy. This is the spread that probably so far needs the most work, but again, probably not for Bologna. Like, I think visually you could have something really lovely. I don't think it kind of shows that warmth enough, and I think you almost want a double page spread here, because, and maybe the one above you want as vignettes. Have a look at I always use it as an example, is Beatrice Alemagna's Squishy Itty Bitty, Squishy Itty Fluffy Itty Bitty, Squishy Itty Bitty. Beatrice Alemagna's one. I don't have it to hand. Let me have a look at it. Might actually be in the office. I might have taken it in to show the second years, but there's a really nice spread, and again, you'll be able to find it on YouTube if you watch someone reading it. There's a spread where she like runs, it's this little girl and she wears a neon pink coat and she goes through this village, and the village itself is like quite it's, well, Beatrice Alemagna colors, you know, quite dark, muted colors. And then because we know this little girl has a neon pink coat on, when she runs through the village, you can show that she's moving, and it's just a pink dot that moves through the whole village. So it's kind of like almost a map vignette with, it's lots of little images within a scene. And I wonder if you have the page before, if you have this like quite frantic chase scene almost. And again, I'm giving advice which is conflicting to what you had at Falmouth, of like, and again, I don't think you need to do this for Bologna, but I think going forward, you know, this is a really nice moment in the book where you get that page turn and you go from cold to warm. You could also have a look at Jane the Fox and Me by Isabel Arsenault, who it's a graphic novel, but the color use in that's really lovely, and a fox is used to kind of transition from black and white to full color at the end, and the colors used like emotionally. But I think you could have it here because you've got that fox in the one before. That's like the first bit of color we're going to really see for the whole book, like other than the dormouse. But even the dormouse could be like quite a muted color, like a pale cedar color. So when you then turn the page and you get this flash of orange, and almost maybe the owl's eyes could be like a flash of color as well. So you get and then when you kind of want, then you turn this page and we've got that frantic page of them rushing across and pops of color, and then this page you almost like want a warm Bryony May Smith big scene of like the dormouse being greeted maybe on one side, but you kind of want all these mice almost like a feasting hall. Like
I can imagine.
And I think then you just step the text down. So because then if it's quite a busy, warm scene, if the top half is kind of left more ambiguous in like a warmer tone, but a lighter, warmer tone, you could then stagger the text down, and you don't need to say it's warm and busy and they're feasting on nuts and berries, because that will be said in the visuals. But I think "You're not a dormouse." "No, we're wood mice," replies the mouse. "Did Winter give you all that food?" And I think then those 4 lines of text, "Did Winter give you all that food?" "Yes." "Kind?" "No." "Winter has a good side too. Let us show you." That can kind of be like 1 2 1 2 and like staggered on that page, and then you've got the other 2 lines of text on the other page. But I think this needs to be like because I think you can use cool blues before, then you get a big warm spread, and then what's the next page?
The next page is this. This is very scruffy now. I hardly can tell myself what they are sometimes, but
I think
gathering.
You can use then some warmer tones in this, so warmer blues, and start maybe having pinks.
Yeah.
You know, like have a look at the way the Impressionists paint snow, because there's so much color in that. And then because I think you can then have like winter is warm, like you get warmer colors within winter. And then so yeah, this is lovely because it's like a repeat of before, so that works really well. And then
this is a new spread, so because I had that space, I haven't worked out the dialogue or text or whatever for it yet, but so that's an owl at the top. They're building like a mouse snowman or something in the snow, and that mouse there is like pointing out the owl. And then the next sort of half of the page here is them in like an abandoned bird's nest, because I did read that wood mice will store nuts in abandoned bird nests, which I just thought was quite cute. But I thought that is like them hiding, so there is safety as well in winter. But that's like a brand new spread, so I haven't properly worked it out yet.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. And then
I combined, like you said,
the
tumbling in the snow and the skating.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And I thought, I wasn't sure whether to make the bird a wren or some other bird besides a robin.
Are you sort of are you is it you don't want a robin in there? It's a bit too cliche, or?
I wasn't sure if it was a bit too cliche.
I mean, it's a picture book. I kind of feel like I don't think it doesn't have to be cliche. Like it doesn't have to be like a Christmas card robin. Like you could. I'm just trying to think what other birds you might get, but I think a robin in there somewhere. You'll probably get asked to put one in anyway if it's a winter book. But also if you do put a robin in, it kind of does tie it to, but I think this is a very British story anyway. I think like this leans and lends itself to the UK. I don't know about dormice overseas, but like a British robin as well is very associated with winter here. But a robin in America isn't. I think they're associated with summer or something. Like they're not really a winter bird.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is a UK based, in my eyes, this is a UK book. And I think a few years ago, I would have said like, oh, be careful because, publishers are probably going to look out for co-editioning and not wanting it to be too UK. But I think now publishers, like my tree book is it's a UK book, like, but it's co-editioned. So, there's a robin in that. I think they quite like a robin, so I wouldn't worry.
Okay.
I don't think the rest of your book is very cliche, so it's not gonna look overly twee, so I wouldn't worry.
Okay then.
But you could have a wren in there as well if you wanted to.
I'll see what I can fit in, because I haven't done it yet to the scale, so I feel like I do want to have a bit more detail in it anyway, so I might sort of fit in things that if I like get more detail in when it's bigger.
I was going to say, I think when you work bigger, these spreads will look quite sparse. So yeah, it's, I think it's having those visuals, like looking at like wildlife in winter and fauna in winter and what's growing and what's, I think with, especially with these warmer scenes, I think it's going to be important for you to find those like evergreen and like things that do grow in winter.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be important. So yeah, have a think about that whilst you're
Okay.
working on
I
that
did
way.
listen to the podcast you recommended, so I've like jotted down a list of all the different things that they listed off, like for the winter months, all the different plants. And
It's so useful, isn't it, for
yeah, so I
especially when
might
you're working
take
on
some of
something
those.
seasonal, like so
Yeah,
useful.
and then this is the final spread.
Yeah, lovely.
And then just the end papers in the back cover.
Lovely. Really nice. It feels a lot. That's a leading question. It's not even a leading question. It's just a leading compliment. How do you feel about the structure now of the book?
I think it's much better. I think I especially like that I've managed to get some extra pages in that, you know, like you said, to put it needed a bit more, like an extra page of them doing things, I think. And the beginning, I think, is better because it just gets into it and doesn't have that first page dedicated to the dormouse in the burrow.
Yeah.
In the log.
It feels like a really nice, it feels round. Whereas before, I think when we first spoke, it felt like two stories and then it felt a bit jagged. Now it feels really like you get that real satisfaction of finishing it. Like it feels really nice. It comes back. And I think I think you end on a way where I think you'd want to read it again, which is like what you want really for a picture book. You want that read again factor. And I think, yeah. Have you shown it to anyone else? Have any other tutors seen it?
They haven't yet, although I think I have a tutorial with Ashley on Wednesday for this, so we'll see it then. I might try and print it out as well.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, because it would be good to see. I work like this now because I've been working on picture books so long that I can tell how that page turn's going to feel because I've just made so many dummy books. So now this is how I work primarily. Is for my new book, I still haven't printed off a dummy, but I think at this stage, a turn, especially for Ashley to see that, would be really nice. Don't let him change too much before I take on his feedback, but do not take on too much before Bologna because it's already quite stressful time-wise. So anything he says for feedback, maybe just think about how you'd want to do that after Bologna, because I think at this stage it would be nice to have maybe a spread if you can, with some artwork in, but also I know the schedule is quite tight, so yeah. Yeah, don't change too much going forward from this. Because it works really well. It's really nice. Reads really nicely. I would just maybe, if you wanted to change anything, maybe just the sketch of that like feasting spread, you know, where he first meets them. That would be the spread I would maybe change in the sketch form, but it doesn't have to be at all. So yeah.
I think it's doable to get some of it done. But that depends on 704 not going wrong at any point now.
It's not worth stressing over. I think you've got this now, and then you've got Macmillan, which you can enter, and then have it ready for any other picture book stuff that comes up, like any other competitions that come up. They all start to open up sort of competitions, so it's just keeping an eye out really for stuff that comes up as well that you can enter it into. You just want it kind of ready so that if anyone does say at Bologna, oh, you've got a book idea, you've got that like ready to show, with the idea that they're probably going to then say to you, send it to us when it's done, which is kind of what you want. You want to open that conversation and get those contacts. So I think at this stage, even if you put another like 5 hours into it and like, you know, tidied up some of those sketches and change that page and maybe move the text around on that spread, I don't think the feedback's going to be much different. I think the only way you'd get a different feedback from this is maybe if you had that color spread in there, like a color image in there. And I think with your work balance at the moment, just don't let it get too much. Like, just know your limits with it, because it can, the run up to Bologna can feel really stressful.
We do have the formative assessment for 704 just beforehand, and I think I need to like organize the report side of things as well for that, because I haven't really done a lot of the writing.
Okay, yeah. So maybe just have this printed for Ashley this week. I think it's looking really lovely. I think the story is really nice, and I think it's a really, it feels like a really nice story that could become a series as well, like a seasonal series of books. So yeah, I think that's great.
Thank you.
How is the other book? Did you have a think about what's in the middle of the other one?
Yeah, I did redo it. Although I haven't got very good.
No, it's okay.
But I have done the pop-up, and so I just took your advice, really. So it is like that now.
If you stop sharing and then.
Oh, am I still sharing? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
And then I've added a few birds on the spread, which was on the other side of it, flying away, and there's just a monkey in the background of this spread, and I'll just have the word raw, and it's a lot easier for me doing that now.
Okay, brilliant. Great.
Drawing an ice cream shack or whatever, this is quite difficult for me.
I think it comes with time, but I think it's understanding what you're actually interested in. And I can't imagine you illustrating a book about an ice cream shack, but I can imagine you illustrating a book about a jungle, like, which is actually like children's emotions or something. I could imagine you doing that, but I couldn't imagine you illustrating a ice cream shack book. And I think it's finding where you sit. And I think there's been a lot of that this year that you've been working on, is that what you see as commercial illustration, children's book illustration, and what you actually are interested in. And I think there's probably there's always a bit of a wiggle, because it's the world of picture books. Like, there's always a bit of give and take, but I think this book and the pop-up feel a lot more you now, rather than you trying to be a children's book illustrator, which is always quite soul destroying when you lose a bit of yourself in that. So yeah, well done. It's really good.
Yeah, well, your advice has been really helpful.
Oh, you're welcome.
About this.
It's been really nice working with you on it. And just send me an email, but send it to my, I don't know when I'm in next with you all, but send it to my illustration one, like my one, if you need another quick chat, because my weeks are getting filled, but I'm always happy to do a quick Zoom if it's something easy, like an easy fix. But yeah, send me an email and I'll send you a recording of this. Do you have any questions before I
No, I don't think so. Like you say, now I make tweaks as much as I can for Bologna, and then I think I'll have a lot more time when I get back to revisit it properly.
When's the Macmillan deadline? Do you know?
It's the end of April, which is
Okay.
actually more time than I thought. So not that I want to leave it to the end of April, but yeah, I can see it being done for Macmillan.
Yeah. I can definitely see it being done for Macmillan. So have that as like an aim, have Bologna as like a contact making, and then also after Bologna you can then work after Macmillan, and you've got that ready, you can just send it out to people, and I think get some agent contacts as well whilst you're there.
Yeah.
But I would make yourself, I would still make yourself like a list of top 10 who you want to see, and that can be like publishers and agents. And then once you get there, get the map, find them, go to them like first thing. Yeah, but I can imagine, I think like Templar they'll be in the Bonnier stand, but Templar I think would be a good fit for it. I think Egmont possibly, but maybe not, I don't know. But Child's Play, Neil runs Child's Play, and I can imagine Child's Play being interested. So you could go to Little Tiger as well, although I've not heard the best feedback from Little Tiger recently, but also I've heard people who've worked with them who've really enjoyed it. So I think it just depends who you are really and who you're working with within the team. But they saw a couple of our students last year. Well, last time I went, Little Tiger saw all of them actually, which was really nice. And then I mean, I think No Brow will have a time to see people, but it'll be a really long queue. So it might even be worth like saying to them, oh, are you seeing illustrators? And then if they say, yeah, it's on Wednesday at 2, you gotta just show up. You could always lie and say, oh, I won't be here. Can I have a card, please? Like, can I have your contact details, please?
Okay.
So you've got maybe, or I think it's a long time to wait to see a publisher.
I think No Brown are coming to Plymouth University.
Oh, are they? Okay.
For that week, enrichment week.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's on a Friday and I work that day, so I can't go.
Okay.
But that would have been a good time to give them something. But I'll see what I can do at the fair.
Well, you can always leave one of your little books behind, can't you, and ask Ashley to pass it on.
Yeah.
You could get someone to get Ashley to be an agent for you, provide them your little booklet across the desk. But I think they'll have not a sign up, it'll be a come and wait. And the girls waited 4 hours before, and I just think there's more to get out of the fair than waiting for 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It depends if they're sort of like if Flying Eye are a big draw for you, but see how it goes at the fair. But I think have that list and have some agents in there as well of people you want to try and find, like Plum Pudding or something.
Okay.
And go find them. But
yeah. Okay,
cool. Right, I'll upload this onto YouTube and then I'll email it over to you. And if you've got any questions, send them to my personal email. If I don't reply, prod me on Instagram. Like, my brain it's just a mess. So just if it's really important, just keep prodding me and I will get back to you. And it's not, please don't think you're being rude. Or don't think I'm being rude either by not getting back to you. It's just
okay, that's fine.
Just a busy time of year. But it was lovely to see the book. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for your help.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been really nice. And I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.